Hello Year 10. In today's lesson, you're going to be looking at how the youth policies of the Nazis changed the lives of the young people in Germany. Before you complete the lesson, you need to complete the knowledge quiz using the Google form attached. So pause the video and complete that now. Okay, the policies of the Nazis had a major impact on the lives of young people even outside of school. Young people were encouraged to regard Hitler as a father figure and told that their first loyalty was to Nazi Germany, not to their families. The Nazis wanted to create proud Germans who supported a strong, independent Germany, and that the next generation would be loyal supporters of the Nazi Party, believing in their policies. Further to this, they aimed to help children be strong and healthy, so they would in turn produce many children of their own. They also separated the roles of boys and girls. They wanted to prepare girls for their future as wives, mothers, and housekeepers, while boys were to be prepared for their futures as soldiers and workers. There were 4 Nazi youth groups. Meetings took place after school, at the weekends, and in the holidays. You are going to look at 2 of the groups: the Hitler Youth for boys aged 14 to 18 and the League of German Maidens for girls aged 14 to 18. Now that you've listened to my introduction, read through the information sheet about the Nazi policies towards the youth. You will then use the information to complete the tasks. For your first task, you need to explain in a few sentences how the Hitler Youth movement affected the lives of boys and girls. You should write a few sentences for each to summarize your learning from the reading of the information sheet. Pause the video and complete that now. Okay, this task focuses on the policies of Nazi education. I have given you 4 different ways in which the Nazis changed education. In the boxes on the right-hand side, you need to explain why the Nazis brought in these changes. Think about how they would have helped the Nazis and the impact they would have had on the young people of Germany. Pause the video and complete that now. Okay, well done so far, Year 10. This question focuses on a small part of the reading that you completed. In a few sentences, explain how life changed for members of the Hitler Youth after the Second World War. The activities they were doing changed dramatically as they were asked to complete things that would help the war effort. Use the article to find the information and write a few sentences about it. For your last task, you are going to answer some questions about this interpretation. You're not going to complete an exam question, but will answer some questions to help you identify the correct opinions and points in the interpretation. So let me take you through the key points of this interpretation. This was written by Joachim Fest, who was a child during the Nazi regime. It is important to note that his father was an outspoken critic of the Nazis. This means that not only was he against the Nazi policies, but he was brave enough to speak out against what the Nazis were doing. How do you think this would have affected Joachim when he was growing up? Also, his father was dismissed from his job as a teacher. Again, what do you think this did to Joachim's own views about the Nazis? Now that's the context of what Joachim was writing. Let's have a look at what he says. One of his teachers discovered him avoiding the Hitler Youth session, and he had dismay that they were not complying. This means he was shocked and annoyed that they weren't doing what they were supposed to. despite the fact they were only sitting and quietly reading. Also, he was astonished that they had never been members of the Hitler Youth. What does this tell you about people's opinions of the Hitler Youth and about what children were expected to do? Also, Joachim mentions that they were spoken to about compulsory Hitler Youth. Again, what does this tell us about the expectations put on young people? And what do people in general think about the Hitler Youth? Okay, once you've read the interpretation again, complete the questions about the interpretation. Make sure you use full sentences. About 4 or 5 for each one should be enough. Thanks very much, Year 10, and I'll speak to you soon.